I span this wheel to decide where in the world I would go to a local. And on the way, I almost died. But we'll get to that. First, why? Everyone regularly forgets how global Melee is, so I want to bring light to some of those scenes and what their culture is like and their traditions. So, where am I going? That says Greece, by the way. I know my handwriting is awful. So let's get going to Athens. Oh, and I'm bringing my close friend Tucker along, who doesn't play Smash, so we have a different perspective. Also, he kind of wanted a holiday. Quickly before I get into it, I want to thank Squeachu for sponsoring this trip. If it wasn't for their whim, I wouldn't be able to bring light to these smaller scenes, so thank you to them. And their condition was the fact that I tell you to go sign up to Fete Free by the Sea. It's going to be Europe's biggest competition, and if you ever wanted the chance to experience the air successor, then now is the time. I mean, a tournament by the beach with potentially 1,000 entrants. Come on, you know you want to come over. Come and see the UK. It's not that bad, I swear. While heading to our Airbnb, I was already digging this place. There was just history everywhere you looked, and it seemed like you'd have great weather for the weekend. Look, this is the room tour. Ta-da!
See the whole thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I reckon you sleep here, and then I sleep up there, and then in the morning to wake you up, I jump off.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, and the food here was great. I checked with the locals afterwards, but apparently just getting complimentary small desserts is just a thing here. And those were honestly the best part of my meal, no lie. But that was day one. Tomorrow we meet the local scene. Actual day one. Wait, is it actual day one or day two? Upon waking up, we started our journey with a beautiful breakfast opposite Mario and Luigi's own creperie. We found the strangest empty shopping centre missing a roof and this strange structure, all just to go to a little. And on our way to the station, we just happened to come across the old Olympic Stadium. Weird how they got bored building it halfway through though. Found some turtles in a random pond. I don't know if this is exciting to you guys, but in the UK we get excited seeing ducks. So this was pretty cool to me. But after enough distractions, we finally made our way to the locals. Luckily, most of the people there spoke great English, especially Nomi. He was very accommodating to us and made us feel super welcome. The local was held at this internet cafe, which I soon learned was a standard of Greece and where a lot of people go for their gaming. Honestly though, this was super cool. We have nothing like this in the UK and the prices were mad reasonable. They even did some pretty decent food. Get me more of this over here, honestly. I love hitting up a LAN with the gang. But how was the tournament? My first set was actually against Nomi's brother, who was a 14-year-old Puff player. I swear something's up with all these kids picking up Puff and being cracked. I blame Mr. Box, but he actually took me to Game 5. Next up was Elkos, the 4th seed, who was a blisteringly fast Fox player. Even Tuck, who didn't even play, was saying that guy's hand was moving insanely fast. And once again, it was a close Game 5 that I unfortunately came out the losing end on. I was able to get top 4 in losers though after I took a nice 3-0 on the Marth Dissot. And then I had to play a Falco Ditto versus Pacos. And honestly, the vibe for this set was one of my favourites I've had recently. With me and him just going full aggro the whole game, homie stocking, and playing a fun, great set that went all the way to Game 5. With the Athens boys cheering on Pacos as he was able to clutch it out over me. Not really a bad way to go out. The whole locals was like this actually. Game 5s everywhere in the top 4. In fact, none of the top 4 played each other without it being a Game 5, so that was a really cool vibe to the tournament. After the local though, I had to know what their staple after tourney food was. I mean, every local has it, the food that you will get together to eat after the tournament's over, and it's just a part of the culture. And honestly, I wasn't disappointed. We got taken to this hole-in-the-wall sandwich place, which translates to, and I'm quoting Nomi here, dirty bitch. But honestly man, these sandwiches were anything but dirty. For €5, you got such fresh meat and ingredients. Honestly, they were incredible. Everyone came along too to get food and chat, and it was great. Thank you so much to all of them for being so accommodating and speaking English for our dumb British asses. For day 3, we said we'd meet up with Nomi and some of the guys again to play some more and really dig deep into what they love about their scene. But before that, me and Tuck had to do one thing. Hit the beach. I couldn't find his sunglasses. Only a short tram ride away was this gorgeous blue sea and this sick hut on the beachfront where we got ourselves a nice little drink. But this is where it started to go downhill. On the tram back, I started feeling really sick, and even though Tuck was saying it was boiling, I honestly felt cold and a little bit dizzy. I had heat stroke. White boy spent a little bit too much time in the sun. White boy thought he could fight the sun. Well, turns out sun's got hands.
I got heat stroke. Oh my god.
I didn't feel too bad, and we managed to get back to our Airbnb to rest. Nomi and Pakos came over for some more games, and we managed to get that sit down to really get some of those questions I had about the scene. I asked about why they think the Athens scene is smaller than most European capitals.
Greek people, in regards to esports, specifically play a very small number of games. It's like League of Legends, like shooters. They only play internet cafe games, you know? That's their culture.
Another thing I found interesting in my talk with them was how these limited circumstances really exemplified the generational differences in Melee. Nomi being a dot kid and Pakos being a slippy kid, they both had different opinions on how being in the Greek scene affected their potential to grow as players.
The more offline spots you have to push yourself around you, like if you're in Britain and you have like 5 locals 2 hours away every week, that's an insane amount of experience offline for a tournament, you know? Online is good for the hands, it's good for like testing things, it's good, it even counts for like a tournament. A lot of the things you see online, it's crazy, it's amazing, but I'm not very sure that someone can actually push themselves to the same with their offline, you know?
I started playing with netplay. I didn't get that much offline practice until like half a year at least after I actually started playing the game. I think right now with Sleepy and Ranked coming out, I think we have all the tools necessary to get good.
I found this to be a very interesting look into the wider Melee scene, really showing what's allowing any player to come out of any scene no matter where they're from. From talking to them both though, I really got a feeling for how much they both care immensely for their scene, and really value how far it's come to be both welcoming to any new player, as well as really embracing that competitive side and having a good time while also trying to push each other, which can be a delicate balance to strike sometimes. And based on their hospitality, I personally felt that the camaraderie in their scene was something that exemplified Melee. Okay, but what I didn't tell you actually was that while doing those interviews, I was kind of curled up on the sofa shaking with a towel on my head, because that heat stroke got me pretty bad. And after a few more games of Nomi and Pakos, I had to say goodbye because I felt too shit to be able to be remotely entertaining. Which was kind of a sour end to what was an amazing trip. Except there's more. Heatstroke ain't a joke, folks. Turns out, if it persists for more than 30 minutes, you should go to a hospital. And I, somewhat irresponsibly, have been chilling for about 6 hours. This can be fatal, by the way. So by the time it was like 11 PM and my heartbeat was at about 120 to 140 beats per minute, we had to call Pakos, bless his lovely, beautiful soul, back over to our Airbnb with a thermometer at what was nearly midnight. And then he also helped us navigate the Greek hospital, which I definitely could not have done without him. So thank you so much, Pakos. You might have literally saved my life, as I actually needed to be put on an IV drip that night. Honestly, Smash is incredible. The fact that I could fly across the world, meet these guys literally the day before, and have them come out to help me until 3 AM on a work night is insane. All just because we play the same game. It's so cool. And I honestly can't thank them enough for the hospitality they gave me. But I got home all okay the next day, unfortunately without doing any of my sightseeing. Greece and Athens were incredible. I absolutely loved the city and the people we met, and the scene feels super close and friendly, and I honestly really want to go back someday and actually explore the city more and properly get to hang out with everyone. If you have to be local to Athens and aren't a part of their Smash scene yet, go check it out, whether you're alt or Melee. I'll link the EU Discord down below. If you are already in there, it's in the European Scenes Discord part. You'll find it. And also, once again, thank you so much to Squeachu and Fete once again for sponsoring me to be able to do this trip. If you liked it, make sure you let me know, because maybe we convince them to let me do it again. Again, yeah. I guess it really likes that part of the section. This wheel's rigged. I guess it's going Greece.